But it's not me, it's you. What you're turning into is some kind of something that I never knew. You used to be okay, and I like you that way. But I don't think that I like you better. No, I don't think that I like you better.
Hello everybody, John Fesmire, Academy of Art University MFA candidate here, working on my 3D modeling thesis, Bodacious Creed. And as always, I'll put a link to my blog below, and you're free to check out the vlog to see what in the world I'm talking about. So I've been getting a good amount of rigging done on my guy here. I'm actually a little bit slightly behind, which is not typical for me. I try to really be on top of things, but with the tsunami warning, I live in pretty close to the coast in California, so when the tsunami warning came on Monday, I'm just a little over sea level, and I had no idea how bad the waves were going to be. So I evacuated the house and wasn't able to do homework that day. Definitely not, whining about it or anything. I mean, Japan was hit so badly, and it was, what happened here was nothing compared to that. Our harbor got hit. I'm in Santa Cruz. The harbor got hit pretty hard, so I feel, kind of bad for the city having to pay. It was millions and millions in damage there, but again, compared to Japan, it's just nothing. And if you can donate any money to Japan through the Red Cross as well, I think everybody should do that, to help them out. They're having a terrible time. But that's not what this blog is about. The only point there was that that's why I'm behind, is because I evacuated to be safe. So on to my work here. So I've been working on this rig, and let's point out a few things. You can see the skeleton in there. All these things are various controls. For example, this controls the hips, moves the hips around, and everything kind of from there. There's a sort of secondary spine part here to keep certain things in line and move things. So this bends the spine from certain areas. This here is supposed to be a full body control, and so I did the iconic representation of this little man. Seemed to make sense to me. Really strange thing is that it's not moving the lower legs, and it's supposed to, and I haven't been able to figure out why. And the thing is that, see, this control, which does move the lower legs, is parented to this, which means when this moves, everything this controls should move, and yet it's not. So that's something that I'm asked for a little assistance with. So yeah, I've had a few problems that I have no doubt my instructor will be able to clarify. But here's a little thing I did, very Creed specific. He's got this heart monitor unit, or heart unit, really. It's not a heart monitor, as he doesn't have a heart. He's just got the unit inside. But this monitor is that, and it actually is a power source for him. So this would control those power levels. And what's going on there? It looks like his body is intersecting it a bit, so I'm going to want to pull it out, which is fine. So anyway, just let me show you what this does. These are analog dials, something you might expect in a steampunk universe with steampunk technology. So I made it to where each of them rotates, and will rotate to different numbers. So when these are textured, these will all be 0, and then going down 1, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And so I'll actually, over here, you see it says rotate 1, rotate 2, rotate 3, etc., which is what those do, rotate 11, there are 11 of them. When this is all done, I'll actually be able to type in the sequence of numbers here, and that's exactly what will come up on the chess monitor. So that, I like that that's animatable. I have not made These animatable, I'm not sure if I'm going to for this class or not, but that would be something else to think about. The other thing that I do want to do though is the head unit. With this, I want to do the same kind of setup for these numbers. And those are extras for the class. There's a few other bits I'm going to need to animate as well. This strip here I will probably replace. It's with something that really looks more like the zygomatic minor that goes there. And that's a muscle that helps in moving the mouth and smiling and whatnot. And it goes from the zygomatic bone to the lips, to the muscle around the lips. So, and it should be down lower, so that'll take a little bit of moving around. Shouldn't be too tough. But anyway, so that's how far I am in the rigging. And once I get it all done, this week we're supposed to get it finished and then go ahead and test the rig. And there are other controls like here to move to actually rotate the shoulder different directions. I believe I already showed some of the hand control here. And this moves the wrist. Translates and rotates. Same on the other side. And we've got these cool looking controls for the feet, with all sorts of possibilities here. So, as well as just moving it around to move the foot and the leg. These things here keep the knees pointing forward, so or whatever direction I move them in, so that if I say raise the leg, the knee doesn't flip in some odd direction. And the same goes with these for the elbows. Okay, that works so far, and I'll go ahead and show what I've been doing on Creed himself, on the sculpture. Alright, here's my steampunk undead gunslinger. Let's do a couple things here. I'm going to go to layers. So you can see here his feet are sticking out of the boots. It's because I don't have them in the boot pose position, which is that. So there's that. Okay, so his feet are in the boots now. I've done more sculpting on him that I really want to show here, and some more shaping of the clothes. I'm looking forward to getting to actually sculpting the clothes so they look real, at a pretty basic level here. Let me go ahead and go to solo. Okay, here he is. Now, before and current. So what I've done here, layers in, if you're familiar with layers in a graphics program like Photoshop, it's basically like taking clear sheets of paper you'd use for an overhead projector, and on each of those sheets you draw something and it goes on top of the other ones, and it's analogous to that. In ZBrush, layers are sculpture, or sculpture information. So if I do a bunch of sculpting on a layer and then turn it off, all that sculpting information goes away and I can bring it back. So I've decided to do details with layers. So here's things shaped up and better detailed. See, if I do it like this, you can see that, turn it on and off, you can see the contrast. How much more realistic things are looking. If I get to show the hands and feet, for instance. Okay, so I've gone ahead and put some, really gotten in the tendons on the hand and shaped them a little better. Same goes for the feet. And there will definitely be higher levels of detail that I'm going to go into, but this is, at this level, this is what things are looking like. So there's before, and there's now. So you can see all those tendons coming down. I'll be getting, I plan to get the veins in there as well, which should look pretty cool. And I'm gonna have to experiment with the texturing on them. I want them to look really, zombie-like, like their blood has coagulated in them. So they're gonna be darker looking than you would see on a living person. But I'm not quite sure how to blend that in, so that's something I have to figure out. But so that's a later step. So that's how far this has come, and hope you enjoyed. All right, I have one more thing I wanted to add today to this video. Just finished this. Got this work done after I recorded the previous part. So here is Creed's gun. One of his guns, anyway. I'm gonna make a left gun too. This is for his right hand. Probably make the left one different. Not 100% sure yet, but this is based on this gun back here, which is an Old West, authentic Old West style gun, but with some steampunk parts. I really wanted it to have that Old West feel, and of course have the steampunk elements as well. So some of this is inspired by what Joshua Stewart, my concept artist, did. Specifically the blade here. These gears are completely decoration. These are functional. They hold those parts together, but they don't turn. They're not actual gears, but it's a style choice. So, and they're there, like I said, to hold the knife in the barrel, keep the knife in the barrel firmly together. And this part back here is the safety. Rather than cocking the gun, I figured it might have a safety to where you just, once the safety's off, you just fire, and when it's on, you can't fire. And rather than having a barrel where you load individual bullets, there's an actual cartridge. Bullet cartridge that goes in. So some of those are obviously modern things, but that's the point of steampunk, is to have modern or even futuristic things, but in this steampunk style. So this, I'll have some kind of probably sculpt some kind of designs on it, or at least have texture and bump maps with some kind of cool looking steampunk-esque, period design. And same goes for the butt of the gun. And yeah, so I'm fairly happy with this. This is what it looks like smoothed, because I just wanted to have kind of a preview of what that would look like. It's pretty low polygon here, so I wasn't worried about polygons crossing over, or some of the weird things that you can get when you're moving things around. I just wanted to see, in this mode, I just wanted to see what it'll look like. So let me grab that, ungrab the hand, which is there to help me to get it fitted and placed into his hand when I'm ready. And I'll go ahead and, yeah, so that's what it looks like unsmoothed. But the smooth version is what it's going to look like when I bring it into ZBrush and give it a good layer of subdivision. So yeah, I'm fairly happy with this, and I hope you liked it.